Well, good morning, CLC, and welcome to today's daily devotion. Yesterday, we talked about the diversity in gifts and how God gave us different gifts, and to use them for God's glory is worship. Today, we're in chapter 13 of 1 Corinthians. And what I love about Paul here, Paul doesn't mince words. Paul gets down to the root of the matter, the theme of the book, in chapter 13, which is love. He goes on, let me start right off the bat. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels. What an opening. He's saying, though I speak with the tongues of men, for you and I, English, and also of angels, which is heavenly inspired, you have the divine meeting humanity. You have the supernatural intersecting with the natural. What Paul is saying is, I not only relate to you, I hear from God. He says, it doesn't matter if I speak to you in human terms or heavenly terms. If I don't have love, I have become sounding brass or clanging cymbals. Though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and knowledge, though I have faith that can remove mountains. I mean, you could stop and say, okay, can I say that? Most of us would say we cannot say that. Though I have the faith to literally move mountains, but if I don't have love, I have nothing. And though I bestow all of my goods to feeding the poor, we're going into Thanksgiving, and we just came out of Thanksgiving, going into Christmas. We're talking about meeting needs. Benevolence is a big deal. And he says here, if I give everything I have, think about that. Go sell your house, sell your car, empty your bank account, go to the Kitsap Food Bank, go to Coffee Oasis, go to the South Kitsap Shelter in Bremerton, give away all your money. Paul says, if I do that, but I don't have love, it means nothing. See, and then he goes into here, 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy, does not parade itself, is not prideful. It's not puffed up. It's not rude. Does not seek its own, does not provoke, or is not provoked as well, thinks no evil, doesn't rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, which means, you put up with a lot of stuff, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Get this, Paul says, love never fails. But whether there are prophecies, they're going to fail. Where there's tongues, they'll cease. Where there's knowledge, it'll vanish away. For we know in part, prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part will be done away with. Which means on earth, we can't see everything. You don't understand why everything happens in your life. You see in part, but one day you're going to see in the whole, is what Paul said. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I grew up, I put away childish things. Again, so he's saying again, but for now we see in a mirror dimly. We don't see clearly. But one day we will then see face to face. We'll see perfectly clear. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I am known, fully known. And now abide faith, hope, and love. These three. But the greatest of these is love. Paul quickly pulls his theme of the book together in chapter 13. Everything that you and I do must be motivated by love. And then God declares all through the Gospels that God is love. Jesus came to give us life, and Jesus is from the Father, and God is love, which then Jesus, everything he did, motivated by love, all the way to the cross. Again, you and I are exhorted by Paul. Faith, hope, and love. The greatest of these is love, because love comes from God and love is God. Love you, CLC. Have a great day today. Exude love, share love, walk in love, give sacrificially in love, and may God bless you richly.